One day before work, I wanted to play something quick, and with the Game Boy games recently releasing on the Switch, I decided to give Kirby's Dream Land a whirl. As a kid, I never played any of the Kirby games, so my exposure to the series was mostly through Super Smash Bros. And occasionally watching others play the games. It wasn't until a couple years ago that I delved into the series, with Kirby's Adventure on the NES and Kirby Superstar on the SNES. I had a good time playing both of those, so I was intrigued to see how the original compared. I wanted to play a quick game, and definitely got my wish, as this ended up being one of the fastest games I've ever played, with it taking me 31 minutes to complete. The game has 5 different stages. The first 4 stages are pretty standard, going through the level and defeating the boss at the end, with some having a mini-boss you have to face as well. The 5th stage is then a remix of the previous levels in the order of your choosing, and has you fight the bosses again, which, after doing all of them, it unlocks the path to the final fight with King DDD. The game was very intentionally designed for you to play in one sitting, as you can't save or even use a password system, which I think works well with the pick up and play nature of the Game Boy. One major thing of note is that Kirby does not have his signature ability to steal the powers from the enemies he swallows, as that wouldn't be introduced until the next game. So you mostly have to rely on Kirby's other abilities like sucking, spitting, and his little air puffs to fight the enemies. There are a couple items here or there that do give you a temporary ability too. So, while the combat is rather simple, there is a multitude of enemy types you have to strategize around, as they have different ways they attack, or can even be immune to being eaten by Kirby. A main thing I feel that makes Kirby stand out from other platformers is the fact you can just jump and float infinitely. This ability makes it so you don't have to worry about being precise about your jumps like many other platformers, although sometimes the game does have moments where you have to be more careful and calculated about your floating. It also does make it a little embarrassing when you do somehow manage to die from falling. The ease of navigation through a level opens up the game to focus less on platforming and more on exploration, combat, and puzzles. Like the other Kirby games I've played, this game actually has a pretty fair difficulty and didn't frustrate me like many games of the era often do. I feel a lot of games during this era like to absolutely destroy you, or at least have a massive difficulty spike towards the end of the game, so this game is definitely refreshing for being nicer to the player. I do enjoy a challenge here and there, but sometimes retro games are just straight up cruel. This game does have a difficulty curve as you progress, but it's always manageable, and all the deaths I had, I was able to overcome the obstacle my next attempt. I enjoyed all the boss fights too, and it was very easy for me to pick up what you're supposed to do and defeat most of them in my first attempt, which I found very rewarding and fun. And while I didn't try it myself, the game does have an option after beating it to play a more challenging run-through of the game, so there's always an option to add more difficulty to the game if you so desire. The game definitely has a lot of charm to it, and it was fun to see even the simple start to the series has a lot of personality. I found a lot of the little animations they do at the start of each level to be very goofy and fun. You could tell they definitely enjoyed creating the character of Kirby, and knew he had a lot of cute and hilarious potential. I feel the fluidity of the animation of the sprites and the extra little details is what helps this game feel like it's aged well compared to many other games from the time. So overall, I definitely had a fun time playing this game. I definitely like to play the Kirby games as a nice palate cleanser from other bigger games I play, and this one definitely fulfilled that role. It is admittedly super short and simple, with future games in the series definitely being better in all aspects. Plus, I know this game is even remade as one of the segments of Superstar as well. Regardless, I think this was a solid starting point for the series. It shows that even at its simple core, playing as Kirby is fun, and later additions like the copy mechanic and larger scope to the games just enhance that. If you're looking to play your first Kirby game, you'd probably rather play one with the copy ability, but it wouldn't be a bad entry point if you wanted to play the series in the order of release. If you have played some of the series before, I definitely say you should give it a try and see how it all began. And for pretty much anyone, if you ever just want a quick and simple retro game to play and complete, I feel you'd be in a fun time with this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Here's a little preview of some games to come. If you're interested in seeing more of me, definitely smash that subscribe button, and I'll be seeing more of you soon. Yay.